Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner and to a Cardfight deck profile. This will be on a deck that I finally just managed to finish this week in the form of Victor. This is a deck that I've been wanting to play since set 6 came out, as I really liked the concept of Rush and the combos you could do with Maliaki and Aberrail, but I just never could get a hold of the cards I wanted because they had become pricey, like Victoplasma here, and as a result, I had to slowly build up the deck, and then a friend decided he wanted to get rid of everything as far as his Victor deck went. I'm like, I'll take it. So, as a result, I now have a complete Victor deck, and I'm super stoked to be playing this. Last time I really had dipped into Nova Grapplers was back during, oh god, EB8 format? When we got Galaxy Block Ogre and Mono Block Ogre, as well as Immortal Short Kaiser, I played the deck then, and I really enjoyed playing Blouse. So, yeah, this has been something that's been a long time coming. So, with that being said, let's dive right into this. So, this is going to be a strictly GBT 14 format-ish profile. I'm not going to be thinking too much about the premium format a whole lot in this video. There are some things, though, that will be better in time with that format, especially with the rule changes that we'll be getting. But yeah, I'm going to be trying to keep that kind of talk to a minimum in here. As far as my thoughts on premium format, the reset and all that, that's a separate video in itself, because that will probably be a 20-minute discussion in its own right. So yeah, no, this is just strictly GBT 14 and a G, call it what you want, type profile. So that being said, let's begin. As far as Victor in the current format goes, I do feel like he's lost a little bit of stock because of ZGB coming in and being able to just walk all over it. Like, Victor's going to have a very difficult time going up against Jet. That's just kind of how it is, and as a result, the deck's definitely fallen a bit. I do think it's still tier 1, but it's just not the kind of beast that it was prior to 14 coming out. But you will still have your good matchups, and you will crush a lot of tier 2 beneath your heel because of just how strong Victor support is. And yeah, with that being said, let's just go over the contents of this list. So this is a very OCG inspired build, and as a result, I'm playing the grade 3 Searcher starter, as Kabutron's going to die before you do anything with it, and Victed's just not good. So instead, I'm going to run this guy to try and hit my grade 3s early, especially since Zubat is just so good. So Zubat's skills are: Counterblast 1, on stride, you draw a card, call a card from hand to rear guard, and then you choose one of your units, and it gets the ability of, on attack, stand a rear guard. Or stand another rear guard, pardon me. Yeah, it turns anything into an Aberrail, but no, Aberrail gives a thing power. No, it just turns anything into, well, just excessive or extreme. And then his other skill is, at the end of the turn, if you have one or less open counterblast, you countercharge one, and if you have one or less soul, you soul charge one. If you do both, you draw a card. You're comboing while drawing cards. That alone is absurd. And yeah, this is the main Vanguard you want to be on. Excessive is just not good anymore because it doesn't draw you to the cards, and that's a really important part. And you go through your soul very quickly too with this deck, so the soul blasting will bite you. Plus, excessive is just a terrible rear guard. So instead, I'm playing 2 Dr. Angstrom. I have made the decision that if I ride this thing, I lose, but truth be told, if you're not riding Zubat, you're pretty much losing anyway. So Angstrom, for all these risks, comes with some pretty hefty rewards on rearguard. So the first skill is you counterblast 1, discard 3 on hit. If you hit a Vanguard at Generation Break 1, you get to stand all of your rearguards. It's a once per turn. So under the current ruling, this means that if you hit and you do not use this skill immediately, you pretty much pass up on the chance to use that skill for the rest of the turn. And his other skill is Rush once per turn, Generation Break 1, when he stands, plus 5,000 power. So, it's a Sazanda. It doesn't get as big as Sazanda, but he still gets pretty respectable. 16k on restand is no joke, especially when paired up with Winning Champ here, making him a 21. And then 4 copies of Extreme Battler Golsachi. So if you have a Victor Vanguard, he gets Resist, and the once per turn on attack, counterblast 1, stand another rear guard. Yeah, that's a thing. Him being Resist means that you can make him the target of your restand skills, and since he gets big himself, he is perfect for going against decks like Kagero where they can't deny Griffin. And speaking of getting big, his other skill is Generation Break 2 Rush once per turn. When he stands by a card effect, he gets plus 7, making him 16 as well, 21 with Winning Champ. And this and this are going to be your 2 main stand targets. And then you just have cards that either stand him back up, either another Golsachi or the other grade 2 in this deck, Extreme Battler Ninjad, or Ninjard. Is it Ninjard or Ninjad? Okay, he's Ninjad. So Ninjad's skill, how many times have I said that now? His skill is Generation Break 1 once per turn. When he attacks, you may counter +1 in order to choose one of your units, stand it, and both it and him get power plus 2,000 for every face up in the G zone. So the boosts are fairly minimal at first, pardon me, but as the game goes on, he ramps up to big numbers. This will be especially the case during PogChamp and Generation Break 8 turns. And, what else can I really say? Yeah, Ninjad's very, very, very good, and he will be even better next format. And then rounding out the grade 2s, some people like to run Sever Temper in here. I don't. Sever Temper's Generation Break 2 makes him too slow because of how the mechanics work. When you stand him while this guy's on play, you would try to give him his GB2 rush skill first, and then he goes off, meaning that you actually miss out on that. And so Sazanda would be the better choice for that, but even then I'm not playing Sazanda. I'm instead playing 10k Vanillas because this deck is very weak in the early game, and having the 10k shield on, the 10k body on early game just at least helps you from being completely pushed around by decks like Aquaforce. Victor may be better than Thavas, at least in the scope of the format, but I think in a head-to-head matchup, Thavas might actually beat Victor, depending on just how good of a Grade 2 game it has on going for it. The Grade 2 game in particular is something that Victor is going to have to deal with, and I am very, very looking forward to seeing what kind of 10k Vanillas we get out of VBTL1 that I can use to swap out from this guy, because we'll get a Vanilla with effect, I'm sure. I know, contradiction. Then for the PGs, or the G1s, 4 of the new PG, this can only be used to guard Victor Vanguards, and I know I ripped into the recent one for Asha, because, you know, blah blah blah, Tyranny's not good, it only works on Asha Vanguards, I'm not playing 8 Ashas, that's bad. But the thing is, unlike Neo Nectar, which actually has a better PG, Baryon is the best PG for Nova Grapplers at this time. So I'm running it regardless of only being able to use it with 4 of my Vanguards, because his skill is on placement. Counterblast, you get to Counterblast 1 to draw a card, and we have ways to refund that Counterblast, so it makes him basically a free PG that draws you a card. Like, it's really simple in that case, in that regard. It's a PG that draws, like, Summon Lightning Dancing Princess Anastasia requires you to be a Thunderstrike 4 to get the same thing. Granted, she's free, but you get the idea. 4 Stride Fodders featuring 2 SPs and 2 Hot Stamps for maximum tilt. 4 Extreme Battler Jarrock. This is your Jeffrey clone, and much like every other clone of Jeffrey released since Jeffrey, this is exponentially better. So his skill is Counterblast 1, put him into the soul, Generation Break 1, at the end of the battle that he boosted a rear guard and you have a Victor Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand a unit that you boosted, and it gets power plus 2,000 to end a turn while you draw a card. Yup, this is a thing. So it is a Jeffrey clone that also enables extra attacks. It's silly. And rounding it out, 3 copies of Extreme Battler Gunzon. Now, I cut a grade 3 to make room for a 3rd one of these because I really want to draw these due to the fact that I play against Kagero, Link Joker, and Gear Chronicle on a frequent basis around here. So I want the ability to use him, which is you can rest him to give all of your units resist at Generation Break 1. Again, this just makes decks like Kagero, Narukami, and Link Joker weep because then they can't mass lock retire. Okay, no, Griffin gets, Defeat Flare gets around this, but MP Dragon weeps at this, Sweep Command weeps at this, and Griffin weeps at this as well. And his other skill is once per turn, Rush. When he stands by a card effect, he gets power plus 4,000 for every face up in the G zone. So he is an emergency attacker in a pinch, and this is especially also useful during your Generation Break 8 turns. Oh lord. Moving on to the triggers, we have 4 Red Lightning, which you can throw into the soul to countercharge 1. 4 of the new Blau crit, which counterblast 1, throw into the soul to countercharge 1 or unlock 2, i.e. like the Angel Feather crit. 4 of the Blau heal, which is the Bind It, as well as another heal when discarded for G Guardian to do things. And 4 copies of Extreme Battler Catchy Ball. Draw triggers are nice, but I feel like between Zubat, Jarrock, your PG, and Winning Champ, you draw a decent amount that you can cut them out, and instead run stands, because stands allow you to get more attacks off, which Winning Champ appreciates. But Nova Grappler actually has 2 stands that are worth using. The first one is an Energy Girl, which I thought about, but I do not like the fact that she doesn't replace herself with a draw, and she only goes off at the end of the battle. Whereas this guy, if you stand it by a card effect, you get to bot deck him, draw a card, and stand another unit, which is really silly with Golsachi. As if you're already at, say, Generation Break 2 and under Golsachi, then what you can do is you can swing Golsachi skill, stand this up, he goes off, stand Golsachi, and now Golsachi is standing and he gets his rush off mid-battle. So now he went from being a 14 swing to a 16 swing that your opponent has to guard, and then you can immediately swing again for 16, and they gotta do 16 twice, because this interaction here is the same as Wiseman and Taro. So your unit stands while it's still attacking. And this is going to be especially useful when you are on cards like Winning Champ, which we're going to go into right now. So for the G-Zone, I'm running 2 copies of Winning Champ Victor. Skill is, first off, Soul Blast 1, flip anything, and then when your rear guard stands, you may pay the cost. If you do, both that card and this unit get plus 5,000 power until end of turn. This is not once per turn, so depending on your board sort of setup, you can ramp up GB really fast with this guy. And that's great because his other skill is Generation Break 3. At the end of the battle he attacked, you choose your opponent's rear guard with the lowest power, retire it, and draw a card. Because yes, random retire draw is a thing. Like this is a +2 at Generation Break 3, which is going to be very easy to get given how this deck works. Like this play alone puts you at Generation Break 3 before you even get to your Vanguard attack, which is really nice. And this combination also allows you to make Golsachi 21 on both swings. So again, swing, skill, restand. This goes off 5-5 here at Generation Break 2. So now when this goes off and stands this guy, he'll get to his rush skill 5-5. This is 21. 21. Swing Zubat skill, stand this back up 5-5, 26. Man, this deck is so crazy. So then after that, you just basically have cards in your G-Zone you flip up for Winning Champ. Although, first things first, you gotta flip up this G-Guardian because it actually does something while face up in the G-Zone. After that, you can flip up Sea Breeze and then your other G-Units. So, speaking of your other G-Units, let's go into them. So, first things first, 4 copies of Victoplasma. I only have the 2 Winning Champs, so I decided to just bump Victoplasma up to 4. I only really go into him every now and then. He's just useful for decks like Link Joker or when I have no field to work with, i.e. my hand is just all triggers. Then I can at least go into this guy as he is Counterblast 2, Persona Flip. He gets the ability of once per turn when he attacks, drive -1, discard 2, restand after Vanguard attack. So, yeah. Like this guy's from way back in GSAT 1 and he's still surprisingly useful and he'll actually get better in premium format where the once per 2 ruling change allows you to actually stack the skill multiple times. Right now, you can just Counterblast 4, flip him twice to get his ability on first stride because he's not Generation Break 3 in that regard. But when we get into premium format, this guy will be even sillier. Then 2 copies of Meteor Kaiser Victor. So skill is Persona Flip, gets a new ability of on Vanguard attack, you choose one of your rear guards and stand it, and it gets plus 5,000 power, Generation Break 3, and then on the others, no wait, hang on, I'm getting his skill out of order. Let's try this again. So his skill is you act, flip, and he gets the ability of on hit, standard rear guard, plus 5,000 power, and then a Generation Break 3 on attack, standard rear guard, plus 5,000 power. There we go. So when combined with Zubat's skill, you get to basically stand a column, and this will be more important for matchups such as Gridora, where you don't have a column, or say Link Joker managed to lock 1 spot, but you still have another column to work with. And you at least get multiple attacks off of this. This guy will put Golsachi up to 21 by himself, so that's always a thing. And then rounding it out, we have 1 PogChamp. You've heard the meme about this guy. You can stand your board, potentially stand himself, and if you have the Counterblast in the hand to do so, you can do it again and maybe another time. You don't really go into this guy as much as you used to, but it's still a nice option to have. Then we have 1 Generation Break 8. Oh, Driger. Well, what can we say about this card? As a GB8, he's kind of underwhelming compared to other GB8s like Closure Dragon or Galliog, but as a stride you can go into on your 2nd stride or 3rd stride, then he's silly. So his skill is On attack, counter plus 1, stand all of your rear guards. They each get the skill of when this unit rests, stand, and then he gets power plus 5,000 for each of this, for each guard stood by this effect. I should know that the units you get that get this skill is once per turn, rest, stand, no infinite standing shit, none of that crap, but you can do some neat things like with your Kachi Ball here, your Golsachi, and yeah, so this is a thing, especially with like things such as Golsachi or Gunzun, who will definitely be super big at that time. Yeah, like as a second or third stride, this thing's insane. 1 Sea Breeze, and then for the G Guardians, 4 Doggone Titan. So Wolf, first things first, when you guard with it and you have less rear guards than your opponent, you get 10,000 shield. Fantastic. And as other skill, as well as face up in the G zone, you can Soul Blast 1, flip him down to unflip a damage or unflip a unit. Yep, this guy countercharges and unlocks for just a Soul Blast, which is why flipping up one of these things with Winning Champ is very, very important. Speaking of things that can flip them up, 1 copy of Meteor Kaiser Gundreed, whose skill is when it's placed on guard circle, you flip a G Guardian face up to gain a skill of when you choose your Vanguard, and for the rest of this turn, when your opponent's unit does not hit, when your opponent's unit attack does not hit your Vanguard, you countercharge 1. So you can use this to do things like turn all of your guards into countercharges. It makes your perfect guard free, and it also accelerates you to GB8, which is again a legit strat for this deck. And then lastly, 1 copy of Meteor Kaiser Junior. I don't really use this guy that often because of how Zubat works. I'll usually end my turn with a Counterblast and a Soul, so I won't be able to get the whole Soul Charge 2 plus 5, because what this guy does is, when he is placed on guard circle and you have no Counterblast, you unflip 2 and get 5k, and if no Soul, you Soul Charge 2 and get 5k, so if you unflip 2 and Soul Charge 2, he gets 10 shield. Yeah, that just simply doesn't happen that often, but if I have, say, Baryon in hand, then I can Counterblast 1, draw a card with my perfect guard, then go into this guy and unflip 2 and get 5 shield, so that's a thing, I guess. Yeah, it's just something to flip up for Gundreed if I already have Doggone Titan face up, and I don't have enough soul to like use multiple Doggone Titans, but yeah, that's the deck in a nutshell. Very happy to be finally playing this. I've again wanted to play Nova Grappler for a very long time, and we're finally here. And then this set will, this deck will not be going anywhere anytime soon, as once VBT01 comes out, I do believe that Victor might very well be one of the best decks in premium format, depending on how the Ashura Kaiser support works. The fact that Nova Grappler is an Excel clan itself is going to be scoop, because our gift marker gives us an extra front row rear guard attacker. So Victor gets to do things with 4 rear guards in the front. Good lord. Can you imagine the combos you can do with that with a Ninja? Oh, Ninja in particular becomes insane in this format. Could you imagine where you have a board setup that has, say, Ninja on rear, Winning Champ on van, and then you've got like another Ninja and another Golsachi. Yeah, let's just do this here. I'm just kind of winging this right now. Where's my Kachi Ball? Could you imagine your Winning Champ turn being this, because your Ashura Kaiser will probably have some kind of, will have a gift marker on it. Could you imagine this setup? Woo boy. Just, yeah, you won't be on Zubat, you'll be on Ashura Kaiser, but I think the trade-off of getting an extra front row attacker will more than benefit from it. But then again, who knows what Ashura Kaiser itself will do? Maybe it'll give one of your rear guards the ability to stand on attack, or who knows? We'll see what VBT01 brings, but that's just a little bit of theory crafting I've done there. And yeah, that's all I got to say for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the profile. I apologize for the length of this video. It was a lot to bring in. I had to break down the new stuff, explain what to do. But I hope you guys found this to be informative, and as far as what you can expect next on the channel, I will be doing profiles of Gear Chronicle, Grand Blue, and Genesis, as all 3 of those clans got support in the new set. And after that, we just gotta wait and see what VBT01 brings, and I'll be doing a Victor and a Nova Grappler profile, both probably standard and premium formats in regards to that. And then that's all. So until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, this is Blue Star 9, jacking out.